Halo, these are the Mega Construx Halo 10th Anniversary Blind Bag Series figures, and for a change I'm actually going to try to go through these quickly and just show you the figures for what they are, and then any extra thoughts that I want to share I will save for later so you can easily just cut out if you want. I'm going to start with the common rarity figures, the ones of which there are the most in each case of these that you open up. This is a Halo 3 Spartan in Recon armor, Recon style. I liked the Halo 3 style myself. With every single one of these figures in this series, you're going to see the 10th Anniversary Edition special gold color used for the weapon, like the SOCOM pistol here, and it's just a solid plastic color going all the way through, so not a paint application. And also that same gold is used for the stand that these are on. You also get a different gold color as a paint application. For the visor on this one, it's very difficult to go wrong with black, and also has the dark colored undersuit, which is just a very, very dark gray. So yeah, this was one that was hard to mess up, and they did not mess it up. This is a Halo 3 Brute Captain with a plasma rifle, and that's actually a different type of material because it's softer, so you may actually notice that it's a slightly different color from the normal gold that they've used. For instance, you can just compare from here to here. This is the standard type of plastic, and this is just a little bit lighter and also a little bit more greenish in color. The color of the armor here is in the right range. I do wish it was metallic, though. I really feel like this could have used some serious metallic sheen, getting a little bit more into the blue range just with some iridescence, but at least it's in the right overall range. The skin tone for this figure is very, very light, though. It's a very light, slightly beigeish gray color for the hands and also the head. Ooh. This is a Halo 3 Elite Miner with the Covenant Carbine there. I don't think we've ever gotten an Elite in this color before, with that color for the armor. It's kind of a yellowish-ish green color. It's not a particularly good-looking color, but I don't think it's supposed to be. It's very alien, that's for sure. And this definitely has a lot of metallic sheen in it, a lot of metallic flake. The helmet piece also is showing a lot of marbling between some of the different colors that are mixed together in the resin there. This also has a pretty light skin tone, but it's not as light as the Brute, not nearly. So this is more of a tan beige. And the last common figure from this series is this classic style of grunt, but with the most modern style of build. So the inner part of the tank with the silver color there is actually a separate insert. It's a separate piece. And also the breather is a separate piece on this one, rather than using paint applications. It ensures that you will always get a consistent look this way, and where one color ends and the other starts will always have a very crisp edge. And for the weapon, this guy has the gold colored little plasma pistol, and he's supposed to hold it something like that. That's actually pretty accurate these days, the way they have these set up. And that brings me to the first of the rare figures for this series. This is a Halo Wars style basic Spartan 2 with a DMR in the gold color. I personally love DMRs, and this is the most advanced style that Mega does, with the NATO rail on top, so you can attach various types of accessories as they make them. You can also attach some add-ons to the end of the barrel, but this comes with none. It comes just as you see it there. The color scheme here is cookies and cream for all the armor pieces, and once again with the gold visor. It's just your pretty basic Arctic armor style for a basic Spartan. And yeah, let's move on. This rare class figure is one of two Halo 5 representatives in this series. It is a Spartan Stinger who comes with a saw there. Notice there is a little bit of metallic flake in all of the red, all the red stuff that you see here. All the red parts have some metallic flakes. So it's not just a plain red. Makes it look a little bit more special. You might not notice the individual flakes until you look up really close, but it just has a bit of a, just slightly, subtly pearl finish to it, and it makes the light bounce off it in different ways and looks a lot better than just a basic red, more toyish looking Spartan figure. This one looks pretty good to me. It really stands out. It has a very different style from most, just with how much roundness it has. And then here's a good medium to dark turquoise Helios grill, or Helios grill. Comes with a grip shot, brute shot, in that nice gold color, has a nice sheen to it with such a large surface on the side. This color scheme really makes any figure really stand out. You can see all the details, it really captures details well, shows you the highlights, shows you the edges without adding in too much contrast from part to part. So this is really nice, and this does not have any wash, does not have any metallic flake, doesn't have anything special. It's just plain, it's just the pure plastic color, but it's done well, and the visor has pretty good coverage too. And then last amongst the rare class figures for this series is this original Halo Wars Flame Marine. So not trying to be a hell jumper this time around, just an original Flame Marine officially by name, and comes with the flamethrower, of course, which is a multi-piece assembly. It also has the silicone hose over here. It's the modern style of hose, which is very, very flexible, so not at all difficult or frustrating to try to set that up in different poses. It has maximum flexibility, so it doesn't hold you back from creating poses that you want. And this has just a very, very bright yellow color for the main base color. Got the dark gray color for all the armor pieces, and the visor of this one is not so great around the edges. You can notice that even from a distance that it's a little bit fuzzy. The mask just wasn't very sharp around the edges. It's a little bit better on this side, so maybe there will be some production variation amongst these. And now we get to the ultra rare figures in this series. There are no secret rares that I'm aware of. This is an Air Assault Spartan. I'll go ahead and give you a background so you can see that a little bit better, or a lot better. Air Assaults, obviously it's just a clear active camo cat from Halo Reach. On the website, Mega mistakenly refers to this as a Halo Wars Air Assault, but it's Reach. Obviously gets the tactical shotgun, and it's just really nice, in my opinion, to see the plain, clear color for a figure. And, it's fairly attainable, but not too attainable. There's still a good level of rarity to it. There's supposed to be 2 of these in every case of 32. So you have a 1 in 16 chance of getting one, or you can just look up the codes online by just searching real quick and find exactly what you're looking for. Very nicely done figure, and you can officially refer to this as cat if you want, just, in active camo form, because all the armor pieces are the same, and her robotic arm, of course. And lastly, this is the all gold Halo CE Master Chief. They just took the last one that they did and rendered it all in gold with no paint applications. So this is all actual plastic. You'll see a little bit of difference in color from one piece to the next, depending upon the exact makeup of that part, what type of plastic was used. This starts to help you to see just how many different types of plastic they do use on these figures. If you notice slight differences in hue, it's because of the different types, different levels of hardness, and also surface texture and everything, to make sure that these pieces can be put together reliably. They can be played with long term, and they won't bind up, and they won't break easily. So a lot of science and experimentation actually goes into that. This helps you to appreciate it if you notice the slight differences. From a distance, I don't notice a major difference myself. I tend to be sensitive to differences in color, but this actually works out pretty nicely for me, because most of the armor pieces that are front and forward on this have just a slightly increased saturation, and they're slightly more orangish or reddish, depending upon how you want to look at that. And they just look a little bit closer to you, and it all looks within a proper metallic scale of range of values and hue, and it just looks good to me. Has the assault rifle, which is the type with the NATO rail on top, so you can attach a scope to that if you want. You can attach a suppressor or bayonet or something to the barrel, and that does it. So there's no special extra rarity for this figure. This one and the active camo cat have identical rarity between the two, which is 1 out of every 16, or 2 out of every box of 32. So to slow down and smell the roses a little bit, I do feel like this is a pretty strong series. I'm very glad that they did choose to grab from a variety of different pieces of source material, different games throughout history. I'm glad that they picked from original Halo Wars rather than focusing on Halo Wars 2 just because it's the most recent thing, although most stuff does get reused for that as far as stuff that Mega has done with their molds. I'm glad that they were able to pick something from CE. Of course, they had to bring in something from Halo 5 because that's current. I'm glad that they were able to get in a brute and a grunt also. It's important to have that diversity, and it's just a little bit of a shame that they weren't able to bring in something from Halo 2 and also ODST. I feel like a lot of people would have appreciated one ODST, even if it's not a named character, just some representation here. I think that actually could have been pulled off successfully, removing one of the Halo 5 figures. I feel like we've gotten so much coverage of the modern stuff. We don't need so much of that anymore. There has to be some always, of course, but I don't know. I really like that because I like the color. It just, it's memorable. It's something that stands out in an entire collection. They haven't used weird colors. They haven't used secondary colors all that much in general. And this, I don't know. It's good. We've seen plenty of red Spartans just in general, but the styling of this one, the shaping, is different. It's one that doesn't look like the others when you put it amongst a large collection. And I'm always glad to get a plain active camo figure. I don't care what it is, just make it regular clear, and I'm happy. It just makes sense. It's the most usable thing for actually putting together your own little action dioramas, settings. Even if you're just going to have a single assassination kind of thing, from cloaked assassination little scene that you're going to make. One figure that's clear. It's so much better than having them in like a trans purple or trans bright green or something. I like those figures. I like the classic gummies, but that's the best way to do it. These grunts, gosh. Focus. There we go. These grunts are so good. The more I look at them, the more I appreciate just how good this is. And I've historically kind of pooed on the inclusion of lots of grunts from Mega, and as I get older and wiser, I tend to back away from that a bit because we kill probably more grunts than anything else throughout the entire series, and they finally brought them up to the point where, well, I guess it was Halo 3 where they really brought them up to the point where they were really, really funny. That was when they were the funniest to me. 4, they dropped some of that away. 5, they've started to bring it back. Hopefully they will keep that in there with a serious, like a respectable level of comic relief for them. But a really well done figure. Glad to get a brute captain that's in roughly the correct color. This really should have been done with a metallic, just something with a metallic flake in it. They could have brought in a cyan metallic flake, or even a cyan clear colored resin, and then mix in the purple solid with that, and maybe some silver metal flake. I think, just to make it a bit more iridescent, I think really would have helped. And it doesn't cost them that much more to do that. I mean, they already did that over here. It's a similar thing. It's one color flake and then different color for the main pigment for it. I think this does not have a mix, except just to get to the main color. This has a mix though. So this has the different clear color, different filler color or pigment color, and then the metal flake in there. And it's a weird looking color. It's almost like a banana slug color, almost, but it is different, and I like that. I wish this one had a darker skin tone though. Personally, we've gotten so many of these guys that this is the least interesting to me personally. I would want to say that this is the least interesting to me personally, just because it's it's just black and it's recon and it's cool. We've gotten plenty of recons, we've gotten plenty of black in the past, but the combination is proper. And it's a Halo 3 recon. Yeah, I can't complain about that. So those are my thoughts about this overall. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know if you have any thoughts about the distribution. Also tell me, which of these do you prefer? I've said a lot about this. Haven't said much about this at all. I love getting them in gold. It does represent a CE chief. You know, there's no substitute for a CE chief, and this is pretty well done except for the helmet. I don't like the shaping of the helmet for this one. I didn't like it when they first came out with it. I don't like it now. Looks good from many angles, but then from straight on, it's just too flat. Too flat on the top, too wide. You just need to be narrowed up just ever so slightly. I know it's in the right direction, but it's just not completely right. Not everybody will see it. I've definitely seen a number of people who have seen the same thing that I do, but not everybody will. And if you like the shaping, then great. I'm glad that they've put out a product that you do like, and wish you the best of luck in finding these. Personally, I found them all at Target stores. Target stores have actually been getting better again in the last couple of seasons. So this year, they've started to get better. At least in my region, I've seen pretty regular stocking of fairly current mega stuff at multiple Targets in my region. Walmart is awash. They're just out of the game entirely. I don't think Walmart is carrying any new mega stuff. I haven't seen them, at least at a few Walmarts in my region personally. They used to be a major source after Toys R Us. But yeah, Targets and eBay, unfortunately. Amazon also has been pretty decent about the buildable sets, but when it comes to blind bags and stuff like that, you can't really rely on them for that at all. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any that you would like to share. I will talk to you again soon.